If you think a baddie bringing the insecure out of nigga, oh my goodness, a pretty penny and a cutie patootie will make a nigga be insecure pro max. This girl is bad. Every nigga want her. That just come with being with a baddie. Alright? They will make a nigga be insecure, but at least a nigga know what he getting into when he trying to fuck with a girl that just know she a bad. But them cutie patooties and them pretty pennies just as fine. They just as fine, but they low key. They might not post as much. They might not go out as much. They might not be as show offy. You see what I'm saying? They low key. But you got to know it's hella niggas lined up to take her out on a date. And you will forget that. You will forget that. And they got subtle ways to remind you. You not the only one that want them. You not. You not. You'll just forget because they out the way, they low key, they ain't posting as much. But you'll forget, like, this girl could have dates lined up from Monday to Monday. Flowers sent, all that shit. And that right there, not knowing this shit 24/7 will have a nigga insecure. Who in them DMs? Cause you fine. Somebody got to see this shit.
Man, I hate when people are like, bro, you just gotta live below your means, man. Brother, the means to live are above the wages.
One thing about it, bro, them folks hate seeing a unapologetically confident young black man. So Shador, you know, he made his first NFL start the other night, right? And he did a little post-game interview. For context, this man, John Root, only posted the last 15 seconds. It was like 3 minutes long. But he said, this is one reason why many people aren't very interested in rooting for Shador. This isn't confidence, it's arrogance. He talks like his dad without having the resume and skill set to back it up. Humility will go a long way. Now, in that clip, bro, he didn't say anything arrogant. He was just happy to get the win. Listen, if the person is white, it's confidence. If they black, it's arrogance. It's that simple. Look at how they treat Lamar Jackson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Angel Reese. Even how they used to do Mayweather. He was cocky, but goddamn McGregor was confident. Like, you know, you got to pick up on them little signs, dog. All my black folks always be unapologetically black. Pop your shit. Do not make them folks feel comfortable, man. All right.
Older I'm getting, the more I'm starting to realize that a lot of people, especially older people, do not have conflict resolution skills. Like, a lot of people are still like hella emotionally unintelligent and immature. Perfect way you can see it is you'll be talking to somebody and y'all get in a disagreement, and instead of like actually trying to hear you out or like just agreeing to disagree, you'll notice a lot of people, they either try to attack your character and make it seem like you don't know what you're talking about, or it's like they'll try to force their point of view on you. It's like they can't deal with the fact that somebody disagrees with them, or they just like shut down completely. And mind you, I thought this stuff was just for like, you know, people my age and like younger middle school, high school, college age people. Like, that's for us to be like, you know, all immature, I thought. But like, no, this be everyday people with kids, moms, dads, uncles, people who work normal jobs. Like, it still is bugging me out to this day that people aren't as like how do I explain it? Just because you work a job, that doesn't make you like responsible. You know what I mean? Like, you can go to a job every single day, pay all your bills, and still not be an accountable, competent person past a certain level.
Hey guys, good morning. I thought I'd switch it up on you a little bit. I had to make a trip to the airport, and I'm headed back to my car. And so I figured, you know what? Why not shoot a video of me not behind my steering wheel in traffic for once? Just a quick little switch up. But anyway, yesterday I talked about purpose and living within your purpose. And so one thing that was on my mind pretty much all yesterday, and then of course this morning, is that oftentimes people don't even realize that they have talents, that they have gifts, and those talents and gifts are what are given to you in order for you to be able to live within your purpose. So I want you to use today to reflect back on times in which someone may have said that something that you did was like amazing, and you may have not even paid it, any mind or whatever, because it's just something that you do effortlessly. It could be public speaking, it could be writing, it could be designing. Insert whatever that amazing thing was that you did. And I want you to really reflect on it a little bit and circle back to those moments where people have told you that you are talented. Because 9 times out of 10, the reason why people don't really get to fulfill their purpose is because they don't hone in on the talent that they have, oftentimes because they just don't know that is a talent or that it is a gift. And so I want you to take some time today, take some time this week to really focus on that, to really hone in on those talents that you may be ignoring, because those talents, those gifts were given to you as a part of you being able to thrive, live in your purpose and thrive and all of that. And if you're not honing in on those talents and those gifts and developing them further, you're doing yourself a disservice. And depending on what it is, you may be doing the world a disservice. You just never know. Think about if Dr. King didn't use the talents that he was given in order for him to change the world. Think of Michael Jordan. Think of insert amazing person that did something amazing. That was talent. That was gift that they shared to the world. And if they didn't know that was a gift or that was a talent, or they ignored it and didn't use it, not only would they have lived a life that was unfulfilled, but so would the rest of us, because of the gift not being shared that they had. So take that for what it's worth. Have a great day. Find your gift, find your talent, and run with it. Don't do yourself a disservice. Take care, guys.
Hi, MAGA. All the MAGAs out there, all the true patriots out there. We actually have something for you guys that you guys could really show us how patriotic you are right now, right? Find your local branch, right? For the military. Go tell them how passionate you are, how patriotic you are to fight for this country, right? Sign up, take the ASVAB, right? I know some of you guys probably do not have the IQ or the knowledge to score high enough, but go take the ASVAB, right? And tell them that you want to be on front lines, right? Go show us how patriotic you are right now in Iran. I really would love to see it. This is your time to shine. And don't forget, America first.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. The owner of one of the worst websites on the planet and one of the largest donors to one of the worst organizations on the planet has kicked the bucket. Resident billionaire piece of shit Leonid Radvinsky has left the building, ladies and gentlemen. He joins the likes of Hulk Hogan and Chuck Norris, both who are also very large donors to this organization. The devil out here collecting, y'all. With interest, because he leaves us at 43 years old. It's almost like all the people who donated the most money to this organization can't remember to wake up this year. It's insane. Since he has left this earth and gone to the nether realm, let us say some nice things about Mr. Radvinsky. And done. Now, who takes over for the site? Kelly Blair, that's who. See, she was made CEO back in 2023. Mr. Radvinsky moved all of his funds over to LRX Trust. So if you do work on the site, don't worry, you still got job security. Kinda, sorta. What you can be sure of is the fact that Radvinsky will no longer be donating a single penny to anybody's organization. He's gonna be a little busy warming up. Wrong man, by the way. Don't believe me? Watch this. Chuck Norris, then Radvinsky? Can you smell it? There's another one coming. And it's gonna be huge.
The reason that all of these data centers keep getting approved is because local politicians are getting paid. They getting checks. And local politicians, they broke as shit. You ain't even got to pay them a whole lot. Local politician will let you hit it raw for $8. They ain't got that much money. I promise you. They will sell the whole goddamn city out for $5,000. Local politicians want a house in a nice part of the city in a used Mercedes. Like, damn, if you're going to sell the whole city out, at least, get a brand new Benz.
We are losing the war. I am not talking about that conflict happening overseas. I'm talking about right here in your living room or in your bedroom. I am not political. I do not talk about politics in the slightest. So for you to see me come on here and talk about this shit means that it is very important. And what I'm about to tell you guys is terrifying. It is super scary. If you are somebody who watches streamers, if you're somebody who spends a lot of time on this app, TikTok, and you care about your well-being, give me 3 minutes. The information I'm about to give you hopefully changes your entire perspective. Some of these streamers, TikTokers, YouTubers are spies, 100%, no doubt. Let's get that fact out the way. These are not CIA operatives where they just so happen to be streamers and they're plants to do certain things. These are everyday people like you or me who get deals with a whole lot of zeros behind it, whole lot of opportunity behind it, where they're not able to talk about certain things, or they have to talk about certain things. That's all I'm gonna go into. It's not my place to fully talk about, but that is true. And it matters because there is a war of information. For the majority of people from the ages of 18 to 24, the people that actually matter and is gonna change things moving forward, most of the things you guys like is carefully curated. These pages that do all the edits and stuff, these pages just do text on screen, bought, money, fake, if you get what I mean. There are certain narratives created behind the scenes that are then pushed through multiple means of media. If that comes to streaming, YouTube, edits, text on screen, all types of things to make a certain group of people think a certain thing. And until you start formulating your own opinions, you pick up a book, you start to read things, read articles, think on your own, we will continue to lose because our generation is the most important one. They control what you see. The reason why this video is able to be seen by you guys is because they know nothing is gonna come from it. They know that someone's gonna watch this shit and keep it pushing. Dano, why are you talking about this? Dano, why are you talking about this? The reason I'm bringing this up is because the things I've been seeing is sickening. There are children being hurt, being feasted on, all types of terrible things by people who rule this country. And there are so blatantly obvious distractions happening every single day that are being pushed by meme pages, by streamers, by TikTok, by YouTube to get your mind off what's actually happening. We are an out of sight, out of mind generation. The second something leaves our sight, we forget about it, which makes it very, very easy for certain people to make certain things matter and certain things not. This whole big hoorah, we're gonna change things, we're gonna overthrow it, we're gonna do da. It sounds good, but it's probably not gonna happen. There are so many things already set up and too many people who follow those set up things for that to realistically happen. But God forbid us as a generation sits on your own principles, your own morals, figures out things for yourself, and takes action on your own individual things. If that happens, change will happen. Look at history if you don't fucking believe me.
The reason Iran says death to America is why some indigenous and black people have said things like that about white oppressors in the past. It's a reaction. It comes from anger and feelings toward a system they feel is oppressing them, not usually a literal call to harm everyday people here in America. And in fact, even Iranian leaders themselves have said that the phrase is meant as death to United States policies or death to United States arrogance, not the American people themselves. In the end, it's resistance against a capitalist imperialist machine that keeps bombing, that keeps sanctioning, and that keeps exploiting the global south to protect billionaire profit and big corporations profit and United States dominance in the Middle East. Regular Americans aren't the enemy. It's corporate power and the military elite running the whole show. So if you are a United States citizen and you're not in position of power, you have nothing to worry about.
The US dollar has no value. It's not backed against gold or silver. What the US has is the petrodollar. The US worked out deals to make the US dollar the international currency for oil trade across the globe. So if we are not trading oil in dollars, the US has a major problem because our dollar has no value without the strength of the petrodollar. Our government would collapse if people stopped trading in USD with oil. So when Iran shut down the Strait of Hormuz, they made an alluding to that. They said, hey, if your oil and liquid natural gases are not being traded in USD, any other currency, especially the Chinese yuan, with the rise of BRICS, will let your ships through. They are actively trying to devalue the United States dollar because they understand that if oil is not being traded in USD, the US dollar is worth nothing because it's not backed against anything. This is also why we went into Venezuela. In case y'all didn't know, Maduro was going to start selling oil to China, but using the yuan. He was going to stop using USD. And that's when the decision was made very quickly to go in and take him out of power and try to get American oil companies to Venezuela to take over oil extraction and processing there to keep it in USD. Because if we start losing those trades using the US dollar, we lose value of our dollar, which will cause an economic collapse or at least a massive recession. So now Trump is panicking and demanding that other countries send military aid to the Strait of Hormuz to make sure we can open it up and get it all open. And but we also already destroyed their military, so you guys, you don't have to worry. We've already taken out their whole everything. But they might have put mines, so we just need you guys to come and help us out. Why can't y'all handle that? Why do you need other countries to handle that? No, you know that if other countries start to go into an energy crisis because oil isn't moving, if they have to buy oil in a different currency, they will, just to get the oil to their country. And I think this is why Trump wants other countries to get involved to try to keep the status quo. But a lot of the countries are saying, absolutely not. We are not going to get involved, even if they don't realize it's about the petrodollar, but they will not get involved as of now. This is really concerning. And this is sad also that Iran is playing a really smart game that Trump and his team had no idea they would play. I do think people were aware that Iran had these cards to play, but somehow it eluded Trump and his whole entire team. But this is a major concern for the longevity of the United States, especially with the cost of this war, how much money we're spending on this war, especially when you hear that we've been borrowing $50 billion a week for the last 5 months. That means we're going to have to pay that money back, or we're going to have to pay back the interest. It's all of a mess. So much money is just being thrown around by the U.S. We're just hemorrhaging money everywhere. But if the US dollar loses value, we have to pay even more in interest. Not just us as consumers, but the government itself. That means our dollar, that $1 trillion of debt, would suddenly get higher because the $1 trillion USD doesn't matter anymore because it will be so devalued. So this is a major issue, and I don't know if it can be resolved. Iran has made it clear this is on their terms. And, the more Trump keeps talking about, the Strait of Hormuz is open, it's not. Some ships have already tried to go through and got blown up when you said it was safe. So now nobody wants to move. And insurance companies are not insuring those boats. So you have to wait for the insurance companies to insure the boats before people are going to want to move their boats. And now we also have a problem of oil production has been shut down in a lot of these Gulf countries, the Middle Eastern countries, because they have nowhere to put it because boats aren't moving. And it takes weeks to months to get those processes back running again once you turn them off. So I don't think Trump ever had a plan to mitigate this, let alone knew what he was doing or what Iran was capable of. But I do think they're starting to realize with this move, this is just a statement, whether Iran's actually doing it or not, if you're trading in anything but USD, other than that, you can go through. I think they're starting to realize what the game is, what Iran is trying to do. And Iran could very, very, very easily be successful in devaluing the US dollar since it's backed in nothing. But we'll see what happens. I doubt we'll get the truth on American news, but this is just me on my hunch. Y'all have a good day.